diarrhea. High temperito, high temperito, high temperito, give me high temp diarrhea. Whoa, give me high temp diarrhea. Whoa, give me high temp diarrhea. Whoa, give me high temp diarrhea. Quesadillas, give me high temperito. Give me high temp diarrhea.
The shinola on that one. All right. Now, I would like to address this arts funding issue. Now, this all reminds me of a humorous story of the traveling salesman. Let's say that the taxpayer is a farmer and the government is a salesman. Well, the farmer says you can spend the night in my barn, but do me a favor, don't stick your willy into any of the 3 holes in the wall. Well, in this case, the salesman's willy represents the taxpayer's money, you understand. Well, the government, like the salesman, can't help himself. Sticks his willy in the first hole, it feels good. Sticks his willy in the second hole, it feels even better. Sticks his willy in the third hole, and it hurts like hell, and it won't let go. Well, in the morning, the farmer comes out, and he explains. Behind the first hole was my wife. Behind the second hole was my daughter. And behind the third hole was a milking machine that don't let go till it gets 50 gallons. Gentlemen, I propose that this arts funding is like a milking machine, and unless we shut it down, it's going to rip our dicks right off.
Sick? Well, just because I'm bragging on you don't mean you can get lazy on me. Hold your head up, Shelby. Shelby? Shelby! Malin!
I'll get some juice.
Truvy, there's some candy in my purse. I have some up here. Shelby, hold on. Clary's getting you some juice. Shelby. Should I get her a cookie? No, juice is better.
Well, I've invented a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
At last, the greatest album of love songs ever recorded. You'll want to share them with someone special.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
Sung by the man who turned a personal affliction into a recording career, Don No Soul Simmons.
Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. She'd been sitting there and
So curl up by the fireside and listen to the non-threatening music of this master showman.
And honey, I miss you. And I'm being good. And I'd love to be with you. If only I could. Say, has anybody seen my sweet gypsy rose? Here's her picture when she was my sweet man.
Young lovers of any age will cherish this timeless collection of the world's most romantic ballads. And if you act now, you'll get free this bonus album, Don Simmons, Down and Funky.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said.
This 2-record collection is not available in any stores, so order now.
Yes, he always had some mighty fine wine.
I'm married to a woman.
These are all my regulars. You strike me as a angry top. I'm clean, but you do have to glove up unless you're down for some frottage.
Frottage?
It's French for rubbing our dicks together.
Hello there, son.
Do you know where Mr. St. Cloud is?
Oh, goody. I'm being hazed by my big villain. I wear my rubber panties just in case you tickle me. I always make wee-wee with tickles.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's St. Cloud?
Well, it's not really up for you to decide. I mean, that's current slang.
Well, I think it is because I'm a troll. It's an offensive term.
Well, that's what it means, so...
That's not what it means.
It does mean that. If you need me to look it up in Webster's and show you, I will. You're basically just a big...
Don't say it. My being a troll is not related to my online trolling.
I'm sorry that people use the term trolling.
Don't use the
word. But when you're a troll and you troll, then you're trolling.
This is where he, every day I'm wearing a necklace like this, and he's in this urn.
Is his ashes?
Yeah, his ashes right here and here. Yep. So both of my grandpas right here.
What's that other thing on the necklace?
That's a Punisher emblem.
What's that about?
I like the Punisher just because he's, he takes his, the law into his own hands to, punish the people that wronged him.
Put the damn seats back, you dumb foreigner! Come on!
Foreigner?
Yeah.
Did you say foreigner?
Yeah.
For you.
What's that mean?
Means this.
You better smile when you do that, buddy.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, pal, mull this one over.
Oh, all right. I accept your apology.
Andy Warhol and John Waters, in conjunction with Saliva Productions, present Jim Barrie's beloved children's classic, Peter Pan.
I think I see him. No, that's just a cloud. No, it's not. It's Peter.
I'm flying. Look at me way up high, suddenly here am I, I'm flying.
Yes, it's Divine, starring as the boy who wouldn't grow up.
I won't grow up.
I won't grow up.
I don't want to go to school.
I don't want to go to school.
Just to learn to be a parrot.
Just to learn to be a parrot.
And recite a silly rule.
And recite a silly rule.
Here's John Wayne at a party where he was honored after receiving his Best Actor Oscar for Rooster Cogburn. Oh, look, at the same party, it's America's eternal teenager, Dick Clark. Hey, Dick. So that's your secret.
Well, now, since Marine doesn't appeal to you, how about Rear Admiral?
No, it's too salty. I prefer General.
With or without his privates? With his extra?
What is that?
It's Fop. Finest in the shop. And we have some shepherd's pie peppered with actual shepherd on top.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with high jump. Just watch this chorus steps.
Welcome, everyone, to Fantastic Comics Presents. This is your host, Yule, for the 141 consecutive... We got to change titles so I can start over with a brand new number one, which we're going to talk about later on in the show. Stuff like that. What is this show? For those of you that don't know and are new here, or maybe you forgot. It's happened. I am a YouTuber that owns a comic store in Berkeley, California. We're open Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. And when I say we, I mean me, except for sometimes a person in chat actually helps out on Wednesdays. We call that I guess the other dude on the side. He's really the angry landlord, but you'll see later on for those of you that are new. And I get together with you all and we talk about books that are coming out tomorrow. Maybe there's a subject. I have one today. The New York City Comic Con happened last weekend. And I got to say, I think it's greater than San Diego now. It's surpassed it, at least as far as the last couple of years. And we'll get into that a little bit. We're going to talk about Angela Lansbury for just a moment. And I do have a guest who's going to come in and help me with this. Before we get into that, I would like to say...
We didn't come to borrow any money. We didn't come to borrow any dough. We didn't come to borrow any trouble. We just stopped in to say hello. Oh, hello to you, Mr. Penny. Please don't think that we are hammy. We just stopped in from Alabama. We just stopped in to say hello. Oh boy, you said it. We just stopped in to say hello. And don't forget it. We just stopped in to say hello. And I'm hello. Hello. Goodbye.
Hello, everyone. This is me, Yule. I own Fantastic Comics, scrolling down the bottom of the screen. We're in Berkeley, 1708A MLK Jr. Way. And call ahead if you're going to be late. Not like, days or hours, but, a few minutes. 10, 20? Let's cap it at 20. And we'll see if I'm still sticking around. There was a day last week, I was chatting with someone outside. And it was 15 minutes after. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go watch the Mets lose. I've been very scared because of the whole first game versus the Padres tonight because, a week off and they're hot and everything. But it's looking good right now, or at least it was. I have it off. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm only going to pay attention to you. And in doing so, this is the reason why you want to be here early. Because, there's all these other shows that talk about comics, and they're just as wise as I am. Maybe they talk about a certain thing. Like, do you really want to hear another video about someone saying, oh, my goodness, there's a 30% drop in this comic? Who cares? Anyway, yo. Gonna be heading home soon. I'm most likely still be on the road when Yule comes on. By the way, I'm going to be at the store early tomorrow. Maybe if you want to get there early, I'll be there. I'll be okay at 11:30, just to let you know. Joby Pill's here. Corey Keller's here. Hey, yeah. Eric D. Excellent. I didn't forget best comic store in California. Shop. That's right. And then I guess you were talking about another store. Well, we'll be talking about San Diego, and it's not necessarily which one's better because, who wouldn't want to be in San Diego more? But we'll get into it. And Talking Soul, love some Stooges Depression era humor for sure. Now for some more depressing humor, I'm going to have the Wrestling Minute. But before we do that, I have a guest that's going to be on.
Hello.
Look out! Hello.
Hello. Jilby Pill from the chat, from the other room. Oh, I'm sorry, the other room.
The
Jilby
other room.
The other room.
Yeah.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. Fabulous.
We're going to talk wrestling. Are you okay with that?
Of course.
All right. Your sister and her husband, my common-law brother-in-law and sister-in-law, were at that event.
That's right. I think you've mentioned that before, actually.
I just wanted to... It's the first time with you on the show.
They go to a lot of wrestling events, actually.
They go to a lot of, what is Jim Cornette called? Mud show events.
Sure.
Mud show. All right, let's talk about wrestling really quick. Extreme Rules happened. That's a WWE PLE, I think it's called.
What does that mean?
Peacock Live event.
Oh my God, that's what they're calling them now?
That's what those they call it. The PLE. Yeah.
I hate acronyms, and I especially hate that one now.
So there's a PLE, and the main event was the main reason why people were going to be watching this show.
We watched the whole thing.
We did. Over the...
Strangely enough, for some reason.
Yeah, we hadn't been really watching a whole lot of wrestling. I've been keeping up with what's going on, on the internet, but not everything. But Matt Riddle is fighting against Seth Rollins, and they were in a pit fight. And I thought that was a pretty good match. What do you think?
Yeah, it was fine. But to be honest, I was probably looking down a lot on my iPad.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's the only way to watch wrestling.
For me, it is these days.
So, hold on. So, the big question was this. What happens? Is Bray Wyatt going to show up tonight?
The theory I heard is since with the White Rabbit thing, is that in Alice in Wonder, he was 2 days late.
Sidewalk.
So,
he was late? What, his pregnancy?
His clock, no, the rabbit's clock was 2 days late.
Oh, okay.
So even though the date is supposed to be today, I hear that the real debut is supposed to be Monday.
All right, hold on a sec. All right, so Extreme Rules is tonight. Do you think Bray Wyatt shows up?
I do. I think he is. I think with the latest teasers, with the White Rabbit, it says something big's going to happen tonight. So
now the guy before you thought he might show up tomorrow, actually.
He might, yeah, maybe on Monday night, but I feel like tonight, there's only like 6 matches, I think, tonight, so, they need to kill some time.
That was the correct response, the kill some time. And then also earlier in the show, they had that White Rabbit bullshit happen, and it was like, it's like a glitch in the Matrix. Oh my God. It's like, oh.
Why wasn't it Sami Callihan then? He was the guy that used to fuck shit up, right?
I doubt very much he's in the WWE anymore, or if he wrestles, actually.
No, I'm just joking. I think he's probably over at that other show. So so there was the introduction that everybody was waiting for, but it was on Monday night, and that was when the Good Brothers showed up. I'm just joking. At the end of the show, after Riddle defeated Seth Rollins, the Bray Wyatt came out.
Well,
And
they
everybody
had
cheered.
they kept camera cutting, remember, to different
Yeah.
places in the audience, like camera cut.
And every camera cut would be something from one of his gimmicks from before.
Well, there were some that were new. It was basically just creepy figures, let's say, like someone in a funky rabbit mask, somebody
All
in a...
So I was watching the remains of the wrestling council today, and supposedly the rumor is that there are going to be different people filling all of those things.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, just
Yeah.
put in developmental guys. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah,
It's a good way to learn the trade, frankly.
Not with the way Triple H is rehiring everybody.
No, that's exactly. If he's rehiring everybody, then they need to
Yeah,
rotate
but he
people
just
in and
rehired
out.
he just rehired the Good Brothers. You know, he's going to be rehiring that redheaded freak that used to hang out with Bray Wyatt. Supposedly, Bo Dallas got
I can't remember
hired.
his name. It was Luke Harper and... All I can remember, he's the vintner. I mean, he's the vintner.
Yeah, for
We all know
anybody
he's
that
the
knows
vintner.
wrestling in the last
Don't
5
explain
years,
it. You either know or you don't know.
I'm just saying, yeah. Okay, but the best thing that happened all week, as far as I'm concerned, was this moment at Extreme Rules when Edge actually said, "Don't hurt my wife. I give up," in an I Quit match, and then this happened.
Damn it!
That was such a good angle. It was perfectly filmed for our pleasure.
And that's on live. I love see, that's the beauty of wrestling, when something like syncs up right and it just looks really awesome and it told a really good story, even though the match was kind of like I didn't give a crap.
Oh, I was looking down big time during that match. But you know how I feel about Finn Balor compared to you. But let's
I
not
love
get
Finn
into
Balor.
that fight
and
right
he
now.
won, and that's the only thing that's important in that. There was another thing.
He
So
needs
there was
way more charisma, please.
So there was no sound for this, but I think AEW found their new game changer. I really, I joke about them all the time, so I want to be serious here. But there was no sound to the event on Twitter where I found it, so I had to put some music. So just listen to this.
Most any night, you know where I can be found. Yeah, stomping some geeks head into the ground. So keep the faith, cause in Blassie you can trust. I won't give up till the last geek bites the dust. Pencil neck geek, gritty freak, scum sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek.
What do you think?
Was that an audition for America's Got Talent? That's what it looked like to me.
I think it was just some show that Tyler would go to and take Kelly along with him.
Sure, maybe. But that definitely looked like an audition for AGT.
That was Disco Inferno retweeted that and was like, ugh. I mean, that's a house show, and who gives a...
It's pretty funny when someone like Disco Inferno will tweet something and they'll be like, ugh. Like he didn't have one of the cheesiest gimmicks in the world. Get over it,
for
buddy.
sure. But he was good in the ring. I mean, he did good, solid WCW work. That's all I'm saying.
That was stupid, though. Yeah. That was dumb.
Oh, am I doing that?
No, I'm saying that match.
It sure was. And that's the Wrestling Minute.
Oh, Miss Pat.
Oh,
I am a Pat fan. Only on
Pat
WWE,
fan.
though. I don't know his other work.
Oh, yeah, but you're like totally
I hate
watching
sports.
college football all the time.
Yeah, not at all.
All right. Ryan, our mole is just like keeps going on, and I'm like, hold on a second. There's a reason for it. But first, there's a reason for Jill being on the show, and that's because, I got a picture here.
Just briefly, don't worry, everyone.
Yeah, no problem. A celebrity died, and it's kind of someone that's important to me. I don't know about you, Jill, but Judy Tenuta died over the weekend.
Yes, I remember, you were like, hey, Judy Tenuta died, and my first thought was Corky from Waiting for Guffman. I was like, wait, Judy Tenuta, and that's like my memory of him wearing her shirt.
Yeah.
Waiting for Guffman.
She was like an 80s comic, and the thing is, like, comedy was a big deal, and
Definitely.
she played a character, and it wasn't like all observational humor or the stuff that we see. I guess if we see comedy at all these days.
My parents did coke and went to comedy clubs in the 80s.
Yeah, they probably saw her.
Maybe.
Anyway, no, seriously though, Angela Lansbury died.
I know. She was old though, 96, I believe.
Yeah, Judy was much younger. I think she was like 65. But yeah, go for it.
I was just going to ask you, can you remember the first thing you remember about Angela, like seeing Angela Lansbury in by any chance? Is it Murder, She Wrote for you, or?
That's the first time I knew her name, but I don't know. We had a really janky cable system. It wasn't cable; it was like a box that came in.
So let me ask you this then: she was in Death on a version of Death on the Nile, I think, from the early '80s, maybe, or
she's great.
Late '70s. I don't remember when it came out, but that had to have been on TV a bunch of times. Had to.
Yeah, I've seen that a ton. That's like a favorite of mine. I like that.
But honestly, so like, Murder, She Wrote was on all the time.
That's what
love
I knew her
Angela
name for
Lansbury. Sure. I also would rent a lot of movies from the library, musicals from the library, like starting from probably like elementary school age with my grandparents. And she was in The Harvey Girls, which is not one of my favorite musicals in the world, but it is Judy Garland, who is one of my favorites. But she plays the madam across the street in that one, and she's... It's not like a, why don't you come up and see me sometime, but it's kind of like that sort of role. So I remember her from that and Murder, She Wrote mainly, and then just deep diving into all of her musical stuff. And obviously I love Sweeney Todd, like you know. Love Sweeney Todd. Not the movie, but the stage production with her in it.
And you don't want to hear it from Rick when he says that...
That Stephen Sondheim
gave the blessing.
That's fine. Hey, you can give a blessing. You can do whatever you want.
This is the truest interpretation of my stuff ever. Ever.
I feel like he's old and doesn't want to make waves, and he got a check from it, and let's move on. Like that sort of deal. But that doesn't change my opinion of it. Sure. But we're talking about Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, Murder, She Wrote all the way. She was also in that Disney
Bedknobs and Broomsticks, one of my all-time favorite movies. But I didn't want you to clip that, because that'll definitely be a flag for sure. Anything Disney, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, love her. She used to play the bad girls, and then she
cleaned up good in the early days.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I only think
And then, of
her
course,
as an
everybody
old
knows
lady.
Beauty and the Beast and all that stuff.
Are any of those
Mame? She did a version of Mame as well, which is great.
Are all the silverware alive? I mean, the silverware in Beauty and the Beast. Who's still alive from those plates and people?
I can't remember who played Cogsworth, but maybe just him, because Jerry Orbach is dead as well.
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean,
Angela
those are
Lansbury.
the three.
Aren't there like candles?
Inanimate objects. Lumiere, that's Jerry Orbach.
Right. Oh, that's right.
There were mainly like three voices.
Shaker?
I guess there was somebody who played the wardrobe. I don't know who these people were.
Man,
I don't know.
It's like when the last one dies from that.
But there is on Disney Plus, I will recommend, they have a documentary about Howard Ashman. And Howard Ashman and Alan Menken did The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and then Beauty and the Beast before Howard Ashman died. And they also wrote together Little Shop of Horrors, the original Broadway show. But there's a lot of clips of Jerry Orbach and Angela Lansbury in that, preparing for Beauty and the Beast. As an aside, there you go. Boom. And it's also a great documentary about Howard Ashman.
What do you like her best in? I'm assuming Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd for me, but that's just, I'm a freak. And I watch it all the time.
Yeah. We were watching Murder, She Wrote not too long ago.
You can only do so many at a time because, and not every episode is great. But the best part about, am I yelling now?
It's fine.
The best part about Murder, She Wrote is watching the opening scroll of like guest starring, and then you see the names come up and you're like, oh yes, Mickey Rooney's in this one, or oh yes, like Jack Palance is in, or whatever, name a old-timey actor. That's always the best with Murder, She
We
Wrote.
need programs like that again, because like it celebrates people that aren't necessarily in the public.
TV is too different. The stars of the 80s now have to like go on shows like this, or
Well, they always
stupid
feel like they
social
have to
media
be
stuff.
their
There is no
own.
shows like that anymore. Oh,
Right.
I know where they could show up. Only Murders in the Building. That's an
Yeah.
old-timey, old-person show. For
That's
sure.
kind of like that thing, yes.
Yeah.
But just, more Love Boat, more Fantasy Island. Doesn't have to be those two things, but it means that
Who would
you get
actually
a
watch it?
rotating cast of different people. What?
Who would actually watch those shows?
I don't know. I mean, you start with the first episode. Well, anyway, that's not what this is about. Who's the Angela
No, we're
Lansbury?
spiraling now.
After,
I want to know
after
if anybody would watch. Let me look at the chat really quick.
Who
here.
follows Angela Lansbury now? Like, who should I be paying attention to?
Wait, what?
Who's-
you mean
who's
like her?
Like, who's the grand dame?
Oh well, what
Like,
were we what was I telling you? What Leah Michelle in Funny Girl or Hello Dolly or whatever the hell she's in right now.
I mean more of age.
Um,
though. Yeah, like who's like from stage and screen.
Okay, Christian Chenoweth is starting to get up there. No, I mean she's probably got to be. I'm going to be 42. She's got to be 50 or 60, right?
Sure.
Anyone? Christian Chenoweth? How old is she?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
she's so
it's,
small you don't realize. Oh my God,
Ferrer
there's a lot of
Tube
people.
1 says Lansbury was also in Fun in Acapulco with Elvis. That's right, yeah. She did. She kind of was. She was an ingenue kind of in the beginning, and then went into more character-y type stuff. And
All right, let's see. I love
Broadway.
her Diet Dr. Pepper advertisement.
oh my god, I don't
Really?
remember that.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember that at all. What was that?
Elithidlor says, time for a Murder, She Wrote sequel where her granddaughter has to solve her murder.
Mm-mm. I don't like any reboots or sequels or anything of that nature where it's like, my kid is following in my footsteps, or granddaughter, or whatever. It's tired, in my opinion.
I know, and
It's
everybody
not the worst
should know
idea,
that-
but it's
Nah,
not great.
Jessica should be like the person involved with all the murders, right?
Also, can't we think of a new show for somebody to solve murders? It's not that hard. Come on.
Yeah, and you know what?
It doesn't
Let's
have
go
to be
back
Murder,
Heart
She
to
Wrote.
Heart. Yeah, it's true. We just,
I mean, look at Psych. Like, Psych was probably one of the last shows. Like,
Oh, Psych's
kind
a
of
very
like
good
that. And that was
example. Very
fun
good
and
example.
fresh and yeah, all of that. So, but that's a long time ago now too.
Well, Talking Souls like in the granddaughter concept. See, we're in comics and we see it all the time. So the gruel that we're eating, we just think should be on television too. And
But
television
she
ain't
didn't.
no
Okay,
great
first
shakes
of all,
either.
she wouldn't have a granddaughter because she only had a nephew named Grady. She didn't have any children. Let's not forget that. So it would have to be her nephew or niece. Or, I'm sorry, grandnephew or grandniece. Let's not forget that. Oh, We Need a Little Christmas. Definitely one of the top Christmas songs. For sure. 100%.
All right.
Definitely in my Christmas mix.
We're going to get that hopefully next week. I want a little bit more information about what's going on, but definitely Ray Buffer is an interesting story. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Eric, I'm just going to Eric D says Chenoweth is 54, Christian Chenoweth. So, I mean, she's middle-aged, let's say.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. And she's so small, so she looks like a little doll anyway, right?
Oh, for sure.
Lance-
Corey says she liked Monk. Yes, Monk. I can
Monk
only
has
take Monk
people.
in doses, though. It gets boring if you binge too much in a row.
All right.
All right, yeah. Anyway, Angela Lansbury. I'm out of
Angela
here.
Lansbury.
Bye.
Thanks, Jill. Appreciate it. I'll
Thanks
see
for
you
inviting me
later
on.
on. Yeah, no problem.
Have a good rest of your show, and goodbye, everybody. I'll see you in the chat.
Yeah. One leaves and one let's see. One arrives. Hey, how's it going? Manchurian Candidate. Was she in that one? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that. Oh, I know for a fact I've never seen that. Why do people say I think? Hey, you all, my first stream. Found you on Perch's channel. Oh, awesome. Oh, welcome. Excellent. I love Perch's channel. I listen to it often. he has a lot of things to talk about as far as the comics that are coming out recently. I just want to sell them, or at least let you know that they're available to be bought. Why don't we do that right now? So we did the RIP Wrestling Minute. The Judy Tenuta, that was a sad one for me. That was, comedy used to be so fun. I guess maybe, I don't know, they try and shove it down my throat on like YouTube shorts and stuff like that. But even though I watch it, it's not something I really consume. Yeah. It was a time. It was a time. Let's see. All right, we got tonight's show going. We're going to get to the New York City Comic Con in just a moment. First, we're going to talk about some comics that are coming out. I want to start off with trades. Nathan Hale's Hazardous Tales, Let's Make History. It's like a comic book about the different ones that he's done. You can read about it. These are great. All ages. Make a great present. Margaret Scott and Pablo Tunica. Sea Serpent's Heir, Book 1. This is what? Image. Oh, Image. And this is a young woman fantasy. It looks really good, actually. Why do you say actually? For when you're like reading stuff from people you don't know, I guess that might be good. Anyway, as far as the art, that's my ignorance. Sorry. I got a novel. Well, it's a book with words, see, like that. And it's Alan Moore, and it's called Illuminations. It's a book of stories. So some long, some short, not all a novel. Alan Moore. For those of you that need pictures in your comics, hold on a sec. Reckless. Oh yeah, brand new. Sean Phillips, Ed Brubaker. That's their not criminal stories. And last but not least, because I think I should get more, The Night Eaters by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. These cats do Monstrous. And Monstrous is a very high-selling comic book in my store. And Takeda is a pretty darn good artist. So I think, just like Sheep, if you like Monstrous or any of the non-superhero horror-esque, you got to have faith in creators if you don't have faith in titles. And if you would read a book like Monstrous, if you would read a book like Saga, Wicked and Divine, when Image was really pumping out really awesome stuff, just things that were different. Some are still, coming out. Some new ones are coming out, but they don't seem to be as long lasting as far as stories are concerned. And they don't burn as hot. So here you go. And the thing about this one is that Abrams is putting this one out. So it's going to be in bookstores more often than your Marvel, DC, and probably Image comic books, potentially. And since they already have names where they've been on like the New York Times bestseller list, and whatnot. It says right here, New York Times. I was just fibbing. I didn't remember if that was true. Boom, it just comes to me. I say it. It's right. Trust me. How much is it, you want to know? $24.99. It's cheap. $25 book. We just saw a fantastic 4 full circle. Take a story. Take the art that Alex Ross wanted to do. and they brokered a deal to like do this Marvel book, and they put it out. Marvel said no one time. This would have been what Alex Ross wanted to do, and it's sold out. It's not going to come back into like December. Woo, I tell you. Anyway, let's talk about some new comics, and then we're going to do half or full price, and then we'll get to the New York City Comic Con and all the crazy stuff that got released, and we're going to talk about it. I got notes right here, and that's what we're going to do. So first up, oh damn, I forgot to do it. Let me see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I like it. I like putting it in, and then even though they're like numbered, it doesn't matter. They just put it in whatever order you want. So here we go. First up, we've got Star Wars: The High Republic, #1. People like Star Wars, and they like the High Republic. And I don't know anything about it. But I expect this. Hey, there you go, everybody. Star Wars High Republic's coming out. Boom. Amazing Spider-Man #11. Romita Jr. is back on art after a couple of fill-ins for earlier issues. And the Hobgoblin is back, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff going on. The answers from the very first issue still haven't been addressed fully, but the book keeps chugging along, and I am enjoying it. I hear a lot of people have about it, but I'm selling more copies than I had recently, and I think the stick-to-ity of the illustration and just the familiarity of what a Spider-Man story should be more like, I think people are down. Sorry for you people that can't get over the whole Mary Jane bit, but the Black Cat looks like she's back in action. So boo-hoo to you and yay hey for me. Or as the Usos would say, yeet. Batman vs. Robin, the second issue is coming out of this 6-issue miniseries. Mark Waid and Muhammad Asrar is doing the art. I know I butchered it. And the first issue was very good. Mark Waid's been doing good ever since he's come back to DC. His Batman Superman World's Finest is fun. And there was an announcement at New York City Comic Con that the 4th issue is going to have like a big deal associated with it. Oh yeah, I wanted to get a couple of those together. No, it doesn't matter. Superman, Son of Kal-El, #16. This is a dead title, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But it is ending. There's going to be a new Superman, #1. And yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Namor, just in time for the movie that he's going to be a part of. Wakanda, Black Panther Wakanda. And I love Pascal Ferry. His art's so beautiful. Computer, but very beautiful. Oh, almost. And I told you, it scrambles it up and everything. Wakanda, #1 is coming out. As if there's a movie. Check it out. Also, Black Panther comes out. So it's like a whole movie all in your bookshelf tomorrow. Star Wars Visions #1. This is Takashi Okazaki doing the writing and art. That's a neat cover. And I'm sure it's just, a standalone story from somebody that normally wouldn't be working in Star Wars. Comic book. What happened to all my erratic charge heads people that like erratic? You didn't show up for #1. It's got really good artwork about a teenager in high school that can only use his superpowers like 15 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes a day. every 24 hours. And he's been trying his darndest to not use his powers, but he feels it like powering him up, like he's going to explode. Archie does horror pretty darn cool. I wish Archie went back to the Afterlife with Archie days when they were putting out really cool, multiple comics a month days. But they only do these like one shots and the double digest and stuff like that. So I mostly only get the comics, put them on the rack, and Chilling Adventures of Salem. Love a Francavilla cover. Daredevil number 4, Chip Zdarsky. I don't know if Chichetto's doing the art. Let's move this banner. Doesn't say. I'm sure the illustrations will be good, but I don't think Chichetto was in the previous issue. Star Wars 28 comes out. Do I need to tell you any more? Then Star Wars number 28 comes out. Batman Incorporated. Ed Kissin-Brisson is doing the writing, and what's his name? Is it Josh Timms? This is a good artist. I like him. He worked on Young Justice, I think. Anyway, he was better than the book was. Do a Power Bomb number 5, Daniel Warren Johnson. Once again, this is a person who's better than the book is. I know there's a lot of people that like it, but I'm not a fan of most wrestling comic books. And this one, I don't know, maybe I'll read it when it's collected. Great art, though. Here's something I won't read. I don't care. Punisher War Journal. This is a new writer, Gronbeck. This person did like a Thor or Loki story. And this is like, if you're like, oh yeah, everybody has to be this kind of person in order to write that kind of book, she'd fit the bill. I think with that name. Starhenge number 4 of book 1. Liam Sharp came out and said, I think maybe like I should just sell these in compilations, like 60 to 100 page books. And, because he's like, people trade weight. And I'm like, what he's saying is like, the book isn't selling that well. And I agree. It's a book that should sell well, but it's not. He has an aesthetic that doesn't necessarily translate to comic book readers. All Out Avengers number 2. Derek Landy and Greg Land. Landy and Land. Land and Landy. Oh, and other people. Who cares? Avengers. What? Dr. Doom holding Thor's hammer? Everybody's been holding Thor's hammer for like the last 5 or 7 years. So I don't even know if this is something I should be shocked seeing. And with what's going on with Captain America's shield, should I even care? And last but not least, Jerry Duggan, Brian Posehn. I should get more Brian Posehn clips on from his Mr. Show bit. And Scott Koblish on art, Halloween Party. These guys get I think, smoke ganja. In the very least, they vape pen or maybe like do dabs. And then they come up with comic book stories and images like, yeah, anything you want, guys. Sure. The Secret History of Weed? No problem. Santa Claus is a big fat fuck, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, sure. Why not? Halloween Party? Can't wait. Must be nice. Of course, he's tall and his back probably hurts. Of course, I'm short and fat and my back hurts. So there's no winning on that one. And that's what's coming out tomorrow. All right, half for full price. You ready? Let's get this on because our mold is like, come on, man. Oh, wait. What's Starhenge about? I haven't read it yet. It's like fantasy sci-fi. First one's free if you buy the next two. How's that? Or three. I guess there's three. Rex Libris. I've always heard that's good. I don't care. Half it. Wait, what volume number is that? 1, half it. Just do it. It's supposed to be good. Slave labor. God bless them. It feels bad doing that. Rex Mundi. What book 2? That's another one I've always heard is good. Who's the writer? Let's see, I don't know. I don't care. Half. Eric D says holding Thor's hammer, best unintentional euphemism of 2022. Oh no, he was castrated a long time ago. I don't think we have to worry about that metaphor anymore. Revolution, is that a standalone or one of two? Is there a number on the spine? Half it. Half it. Put it online. Everybody's going to want it. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, half it. Those are cool. Who does it? Leo Williams? Is that? Oh, no. Leo Moore, I meant. David Liss. He's hack. Get on the right. I mean, he's good. Everybody should buy this. You're lucky you're getting it for half. Half. Stories about TV show people, half. Half it. Hack slash, small, half. Oh, now that's interesting. What volume? 4. Yeah. Who's the artist? No, I don't care. Half it. Nobody cared. Well, that's why you have so many. 4. You order accidentally sometimes. Volume 1. What is that? All right, let's put it full price. It's good for Halloween. Well, the same one, have full price. Oh yeah, Peter David She-Hulk. Yeah, let's keep it. You don't have to question me when I know. I know it's Peter David. Half. Oh wait, is that Joshua Williamson on the Xenophile one? Or Xenoholic? Half. I don't care. Half. I read some of those. They were okay. Half. We already saw it half. That looks good with that Superman, though. Holy cow. We may have had an overship situation there. They get lazy about you returning them. Let's keep all of the Green Lantern stuff that I see there right now. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. That's cool. Is that when he's a Spectre? Yeah, that too. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That's Venditti. A half, and then I guess keep the Green Lantern. Wow, is that whole box Green Lantern now? You don't know, do you? Have you already gone through this? You can imagine. Yeah, sure. Oh, it says G on it. Gotcha. I should have had music going. I'm sorry, guys. I got it now. Oh, that one. I mean, yeah, that's great. Peter J. Tomasi, everybody loves that. Everybody loves him. Look at that. Yapoozer. Kilowatt. Great Pacific. No, I heard that's good, but what volume is it? 3? No, half. haunting, this music. Well, it's haunting for me because I'm thinking about all the preparation that I was supposed to do for the show, the sci-fi fantasy show that we did. All right, with that, we're going to get onto our feature. We're going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con sucking compared to New York City Comic-Con. Let me just get... It's not that it sucks. It's just that almost nothing really got announced from San Diego, and like DC didn't even show up, and Marvel's always been kind of like weird about what they're willing to do for San Diego, and it was always like the destination. And if you wanted, so in the early days, if you wanted to meet comic book creators and a few minor celebrities that this is where they would go to, that might be like the thing. There maybe was movie halls and something for, but you're going to meet that vendor that has like the animation, the Japanimation, or get the comic books that, only the people over on the East Coast got like their full allotment or whatever it may be. And then creators were showing up, and this was the first time or only time they're meeting their creative counterparts for maybe like that year. And they're like hashing out ideas and having a great time. Back in the day, they really had a great time, supposedly. And, cons were great. And San Diego was the one to be at. And there was a time, I remember, in the 90s when you could still on the same day get a ticket for the show, whether it be one day or all days. And you could, rent a hotel / motel, whatever it may be, not far from it. I mean, we all drive, it's not that big a deal. And it just wasn't all as congested. But the con expanded. Everybody talks about, what is it? Hall H or something like that. And everybody talks about when, it changed. And I think when it changed was when Comic Relief took, I don't remember how many we bought, like 250 maybe copies of Watchmen to take down there. And that was included with all our other stuff. And we were bringing like 10s and 15s of trade paperbacks, all of it. Now here's the entire Walt Simonson, Thor run, the Visionaries. Here's all the John Byrne stuff, Fantastic Four. Here's all the Sandman. Here's all the Preacher. Here's all the people coming to the show, seeing our stuff laid out the way it was. They'd never seen like all of it out there at all because, there's so many different stores that are so same. And, we were bringing it. And I worked the store in Berkeley that year. But we sold out of that stuff almost before we opened up because everybody was going crazy for the Watchmen the year it was coming out. And I'm like, holy cow. I could never have like imagined. I was like, we got to jump it up as high as we could possibly and like be, live with bringing back to the store. Even though I'll always sell Watchmen, it's going to dwindle in popularity. But that's San Diego. It was like, and that was kind of like the last year, like we did we did super great later on, but it was kind of like a changing experience, like what it's going to be. And I'm not trying to raise controversy. I know. I want to go to SDCC. Well, the thing is, I don't ever want to work that again. All right. So anyway, what got announced in San Diego this year? Who was there that was that big a deal? I mean, was there a movie that was announced that was? I feel like the last few years of San Diego, whether it's online or in person, has been a big tease for like later on in the year. And there was a while when do you remember like when, what's the Washington one, Emerald City, Image would release a lot of like, oh, this is what we're doing. But they're very careful about sprinkling it throughout the year. So even though they're up in Portland now, and the Emerald City Comic Con was kind of like where they were like releasing information, they did have their Image expos first. And, we took full advantage of that. That was great. Yule hasn't cared for SDC in a while. Nothing new. Well, it's not that I don't care about it. I mean, I care about it, but I'm not going to get angry about it. I'm not, again, tell me what was introduced. What do we find out? I mean, it feels like even after San Diego, people are still releasing information about stuff that's going to be happening. So I know that's a big stack of bringing to the store. You guys are going to have to help me sell this Green Lantern. We can work a deal out if you want me to mail it to you. All right. So let's get into, I'm going to take my camera off. There we go. You know how I am about this when I'm sharing the screen. What the hell? All right. It just changed. All right, here we go. Boom. I have a lot of notes, and there's a lot of things that happened at New York this year. And there's a lot of things I missed out on. So you know how it is. If you're following me, you know the different like Comics by Perch and Thinking Critical. There's lots of good videos out there from those guys and more people about all the different stuff that's been going on. But first, I think it's important that we talk about, I think on the very first day, this Batman announcement was made that Mike Hawthorne was going to be the illustrator taking over Batman for 131 and on. So he's a new regular artist. Mike Hawthorne isn't as exciting as Jorge Jimenez. Although I've liked his stuff in the past, I don't know. Everybody's been talking about him. Like maybe I'm misremembering who he is. But he's taking over Jorge Jimenez, and we knew this also. See, the thing is, we knew this, but we didn't. It was not confirmed that Mike Hawthorne. So this is what DC is like leading with, and this is not very exciting. And what is exciting is that Mark Miller has Jorge Jimenez to take on the new Nemesis series for Image/Netflix, and there you go. So originally was like a Marvel, I think their thing was called Icon. Anyway, really good art. Can't wait to take a look at it. Wow. That dude's head. Feel bad for him. Of course, it's been rumored that Batman's going to be getting a new #1. So since we're already seeing art from Nemesis, I assume it's called Nemesis Reloaded. I assume he's probably well on his way to starting the first issue of Batman. There's going to be like all sorts of events in DC following Dark Crisis. I forget if we're talking about it in a second, but we are going to be talking about Jonathan Hickman's return to Marvel, Valerio Schiti. And I guess this is like a Doctor Strange. This promotional video. It's not a video. It was a slide presentation or something like that. I don't know what any of this trash means. I don't really care. I feel like I should be excited. But I'm so... I think this is the one where he better prove himself. He can't screw around. I can't feel like I'm wasting my time, or else I'm just not going to read, in the very least, I'm not going to read any of his mainstream work again. So this is like, I'm putting you on notice. The next, if I sniff Teeny Howard working with you on this, Jonathan Hickman, if I see anybody, Ed Brisson, anybody from the X-Men universe taking over or co-writing books because you can't get them out on time. I mean, look at this. We're just going to get this stuff again where I have to like pay attention to some shit that was on Lost. It didn't make any fucking sense then. Oh, who's that? Oh, DC again. So Superman, Son of Kal-El is canceled as of the 18th issue. That's so sad. But don't worry. He's going to have his own mini-series. Yeah, that's the one right there. And it's going to continue with Tom Taylor and Clayton Henry is going to be doing the art. So that's kind of cool. There's going to be Action Comics that's going to be coming out, and that's going to have all of the different Superman dorks that look, he has kids here. I guess that's Soups and Connor and Supergirl. Oh, Steel back there. Steel's Steel. His I forget her name right now. Blah. Natasha Irons. And oh yeah, and then in action, and this is the Superman book, so this is kind of exciting. Superman is going to be written by Joshua Williamson. I think this is. So I've been recently reading his Dark Crisis, and I am not bogged down by reading all those Justice League Incarnate and other major miniseries events that have been leading up to it. I actually have been enjoying it, and I'm on the 5th issue. I haven't started it yet, but I'm not reading all the extracurricular stuff either. But I am enjoying Dark Crisis, and I've liked Joshua Williamson in the past. I've given him a little bit of grace because of the amount of books he had to put out when he was doing Flash. But I thought he did an above adequate job. They were good usually. And he's going to be doing Superman. I think he's got an understanding of the character. And I think people that hate on people that do a crummy Superman should probably be pretty happy with him. And Jamal Campbell is going to be doing the art. He did Naomi and other things with Bendis. So he'll be working with a writer. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then DC Universe Lazarus Planet is going to like start off the year or something like that. I'm not exactly sure about who's all involved with this, but again, we're just getting off another major crisis situation, and now stemming. Oh, I guess Mark Waid's writing this. Stemming from an instant, something that happens in Batman versus Robin #4. So, collector people, remember that. If you need that issue, let me know ahead of time. Hook you up. And even the Monkey King's going to be in this. So if you're a Monkey King fan, I have them out there. That's something that's going on. You're seeing that this is just DC I'm talking about. And Marvel, they have this dark web. Maybe you don't like this. Is any of this stuff just like, so what, Yule? This is boring me. Don't worry, I'm getting to some other things too. Dark Web, this is a Spider-Man sort of crossover with the X-Men. His clone, Ben Reilly, and Jean Grey's clone, Madeline Pryor, I think that's how it works, are going to team up and take on Spider-Man. Venom's going to be involved, and there's going to be X-Men miniseries. And there's going to be new characters. There's one going to be called, I can't remember. It was like Halloween or something like that. Whatever. So this is a Dark Web crossover or character. There's going to be Red Goblin. And, that's a little too fast. And, yeah, so that's the Spider-Man series that's going on. I guess I'll just go past that really quick. Oh, that's what I want. all of this stuff right here, like I don't care about any of it. Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, they're going to do season 2. All these announcements. Good Omens #2. Titan season 4 trailer. Doom Patrol season 4 trailer. Tim Burton's Wednesday. Blah, 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 blah. Muppets Mayhem. I thought Muppets were canceled. Chucky. I mean, they're just talking about all this stuff. Isn't that what like San Diego is supposed to be? Where all this Hollywood junk is talked about? Maybe there's just so much Hollywood junk that they can do it at all cons now. But is that good? There was a Women of Marvel panel, and they talked about the different comics that are coming out. There's going to be a Captain Britain. I had it on the screen. Let me go back to it. We have the Captain Britain. It's Betsy Braddock. And I guess Tini Howard's going to be involved with it again. Shocker. Stephanie Phillips is writing Rogue and Gambit. And X-23, yes, she is X-23 in a 5-issue limited series. Erica Schultz and Edgar Salazar. But I mean, look at this. Marvel's got things that they're doing. That's kind of cool. X-23. Don't call me Wolverine. That's what she should say on the cover. Don't call me Wolverine. And Marvel is teaming up with Viz. They're going to release a comic book from Japan. Let me see if I got this right. It's called Wolverine Snicked, and it's by Tsutomu Nihi. And it came out in 2003, but it's finally getting produced for us here in America. This is pretty exciting. Maybe this is the way to get the manga crowd over into superhero comics. Or maybe invite people outside of comics to do more stuff with the characters. Once again, we've seen Fantastic Four do really, really well over at Abrams with the Alex Ross bit. There's going to be Spider-Man Fake Red. I guess the concept is that this kid finds Spider-Man's costume and gets mixed up for the wall crawler. And these are coming out on June 13th of next year. And July 18th, there's going to be one called Marvel Comics Manga Tribute. And it's going to be a bunch of these great creators out there just like doing like super great stuff. And this is all new material. So this is Marvel. I think the next thing I'm going to show you is upsetting though. Peach Momoko had to make a Twitter announcement about not being able to fulfill the signings that she feels like she had promised people. And there's all sorts of like a snafu going on. And basically what she was doing, this is her drawing, probably of herself, it looks like. Just wasted. What happened was she was signing 10 copies per person. No questions asked, just 10 copies. You bring up your books, 10 copies. How early is it too early to promote something? Well, if these are going to be like more like book-like stuff, like you get your trade magazines for the books that are scheduled to come out like a year, 6 months to a year ahead of time. Real publishers know exactly what they're doing. It feels a lot of times that the comic books are kind of like, but when they get these planned things, you know, they're going to get other people to work on stuff and it's going to come out at a certain day. They can pull that off every once in a while, but if it's like an imprint, they have to like take staff and move them over here and do other things. But Viz is going to be involved. So maybe Viz is the one that's involved. You know what I mean? Marvel's just going, yeah, no problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. But it's good to know. For me to be able to tell you guys and go, you know, this is something I'm really excited about, something that I'm looking forward to. A few of those things I am. I ordered heavily on a Batman Spawn book that's going to be coming out in December, I do believe, and soon the Mark Silvestri Batman miniseries. You guys know I'm no major league lover of Batman, but those are ones that you're going to have to pay attention to. You know what I mean? So, and then I only got the books, but you remember the ones that are coming out tomorrow. This is the most important. And that is why I think New York City Comic Convention is maybe stepping up and taking the place of San Diego. The getting together is not as important as it once was. You know what I mean? You don't have to get together anymore. We're getting together now. Where are you? Are you down the block? Are you 3 cities away? Are you across the bridge? Are you in another state, another country? Let me know in the comments down below after the fact. Thank you everybody for joining us. That's it. It's not like I hate San Diego. I heard that like New York was hopping. There were vendors everywhere. There were comic books to be had. Larry of Larry's Comics was in the chat when I was on Thinking Critical this last week and on Saturday for the aficionados. And he was talking about the con and how great it was. But it was like the vendors are selling slab stuff. And a lot of the vendors there are there with those special vendor comic covers. And a lot of, at first you're like, wow, this is amazing. But kind of he's lamenting that it's not quite. If that's what you're into, that looks really good. Well, it's garish, but it looks really good. I assume a person that wants Transformers would really dig that. And G.I. Joe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's is that a standalone? Revolution. It doesn't matter though. Who did the writing? Cullen Bunn? No, don't do it, Yule. Make Eugene work with it, not me. Yeah, the humans. Can't do humans though. That's the problem. Not humans in that aren't in mask or disfigured. Micronauts. That was Acroyer. I say Acroyer. But other people say other stuff. All right. Why don't I? By the way, look at this. Subscribe if you're enjoying this. Hit the thumbs up. I should say subscribe if you aren't. And if you like this, hit the thumbs up. And hit the bell for notifications if you haven't already. I hear sometimes it doesn't. It takes you off, blah, blah, blah. Helps the algorithm. I don't know. Anyway. Where is Labrador? Sounds like a dog. Is that where it comes from? We outside. Yeah. Do we want a Zoom world? Do we? I want all movies to be aired like on Zoom. So if it's like a thriller, like good, like Soupy Sales style. It's great. Zoom Soupy Sales style. Soupy Sales Zoom style. That's what we need to start doing. I'm going to get some Soupy sales clips and start working those into the show, the rotation. Thank you, everybody that is a patron of ours. I couldn't do it without you. I mean, I could do this show without you, but the time spent working on it is thanks to you. Because I would have to work harder at the store, even harder at the store. And this is like a break from that, even though I'm still dealing with comics and everything. So I really appreciate everybody that is a patron. Thank you very much. What kind of person is a patron of a comic book store that's a comic book show that doesn't even get? We're inching, like slowly crawling to 1,000 subscribers. We could get monetized. I could make like 30 cents off this episode if everybody watched it to the end, if I was monetized. So think about that. So, if you have extra accounts or extra friends, you're like, I do like what I'm hearing because, this guy is like just talking about comics. He doesn't hate something. He doesn't like something. He's just telling you what there is. Maybe what a person is. I don't even know what to say. What kind of person likes this stuff? That's me. I like this stuff. I'm a fan. I've been reading comics forever. And if you know other people that are willing to hear a guy stammer for about an hour and a half about that kind of stuff, and I'll obviously operate his store while doing so, making critical decisions about what we should put on our half price shelf. And if you like that, subscribe to our Patreon account. It's just fantastic comics like all our other accounts. And you don't want to be, let's see if I can do this. You don't want to be like George.
My last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh?
Paisanos!
$6.50 your change. Yes. And I always take care of my paisano. So here's a little something.
Antonio!
Si!
Vieni qua! Questa miserabile patrone!
I can see it in Patreon. But most importantly, subscribe to our Substack because it's free. It's not like you get a really fun letter that we send you probably weekly. We're trying to promote some books that, we ordered heavier on that maybe just, slip past your knowledge. And if you read something about one of those books, let me know at the counter that you're getting it because of the newsletter. It would, he doesn't think that it would be beneficial, but I say it's even more beneficial to know. He just wants to pretend that, oh, well, it's sold. It must be because of that thing. Well, is it? So let us know. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode of Fantastic Comics Presents. I'm going to cut it out here. I got a baseball game to finish watching. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish-free complexions, and just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. Sam was selling watches from a suitcase on a TV tray. And Lucy and Ramona kept trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn. She left when she was 22. Sam was a native of the Arizona desert, but he split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place that made the famous Sunset Sam. Lucy and Ramona and Sunset Sam. People on the streets trying to find a plan. People on the streets looking for a land. Lucy and Ramona and their brother Sunset Sam. Yes, sir, Lucy and Ramona and Sunset Sam. People on the streets trying to find a plan. People on the streets just looking for the land. Lucy and Ramona and their brother Sunset Sam.
No, it's late. I should probably just go home.
I had no idea. Hey, Jerry! Look what I got!